Miss Walker, I don't need you to be smart or talented. I just need a face pretty enough to stand next to me tonight, and this $10,000 will be yours." Ethan Knight's cold, undisguised, contemptuous words were like an invisible hammer blow to Sophia Walker's self-esteem, leaving her speechless amidst the overwhelming luxury of the CEO's office overlooking San Francisco. Outside, the sunset was dyeing the skyscrapers red, a magnificent view that Sophia had never dreamed she would see from this position. But now, it only increased her feeling of being small and despised. Ethan Knight, the young captain of the technology empire Global Tech Innovations, the man the entire company looked up to, had just bluntly priced her presence like an expensive accessory, and his calculating half-smile made Sophia feel a bitter taste in her throat. $10,000, a number that could change her life. But was the price too high? 28-year-old Sophia Walker feels almost invisible amid the modern glass and steel walls of Global Tech Innovations. As a low-level IT employee, her work is quiet, taking place behind a computer screen, troubleshooting technical problems that few people notice unless there is a problem. Her light brown hair is always tied back in a boring ponytail. Her large black-rimmed glasses cover half her face, and her neutral, loose-fitting business attire makes her stand out among the young, stylish Silicon Valley workers. Sophia's obscurity was a frequent topic of discussion among Brenda Van Doren, the 30-something head of human resources, who fancied herself the company's fashion icon, and her circle of queen bees. The sidelong glances, the sneers, the casual but snide comments about Sophia's poor taste and lack of vitality often reached her ears, causing her to withdraw further into herself. But Sophia had neither the time nor the mind to dwell on such things. The burden of her sick mother's enormous medical debt weighed heavily on her thin shoulders, forcing her to work hard and live as frugally as possible. Meanwhile, on another floor of the building, Ethan Knight, the 34-year-old CEO of Global Tech Innovations, was grappling with a completely different problem. Handsome, talented, and determined, Ethan had transformed the company from a small startup into a formidable name in the technology industry, but success comes with pressure. The company's annual party, a big event held at the prestigious Fairmont San Francisco Hotel, was approaching. Not only was it a chance for the entire staff to relax, but it was also a golden opportunity for Ethan to impress potential investors and strategic partners, especially David Chen, a shark in the Asian investment world, and Isabella Rossi, a major shareholder known for her refined taste and keen eye for people. Ethan, image is important. Mr. Miller, a senior board member, gently reminded him at a meeting last week. A successful man with a stable, elegant partner by his side inspires much more trust. Mr. Chen and Miss Rossi are both very attentive to those details. Ethan sighed. A steady, elegant partner. He was currently single. His last relationship had ended almost a year ago, and since then, work had been his only love interest. He had neither the time nor the interest in finding a serious relationship right now, but the pressure from the board and the importance of the party were too much to ignore. Sophia Walker, the invisible IT employee, is there any chance for her life to change? That is a question that even Sophia herself did not dare to dream of. And what will Ethan Knight do to solve the problem of the perfect partner for the upcoming fateful party? He needs a solution, fast and effective. A few days before the party, while reviewing the guest list and schedule, Ethan happened to glance at a minor IT incident report that had just been resolved. The person who handled it, Sophia Walker. He frowned, trying to recall the employee's face. Faint. Very faint. He asked his assistant for her personnel file. Single, clean. Clean work history. A crazy but somewhat possible thought flashed through Ethan's mind. Soon after, Sophia received an email summoning her to the CEO's office. Her heart was pounding. Did she do something wrong? Was there a serious problem with the system that she didn't know about? With a worried mind, she knocked on Ethan Knight's office door. The CEO's office was spacious, with a panoramic view of San Francisco. Ethan sat behind a massive oak desk, his expression calm but somehow strange. "Please sit down. Miss Walker," Ethan said, his voice even. Sophia timidly pulled up a chair and sat down, her hands clasped together. After a few tentative questions about work, Ethan got straight to the point, leaving Sophia almost in disbelief. "Miss Walker, I have a special request, or rather a special job request for you." He paused, looking Sophia straight in the eye. "I want you to pretend to be my girlfriend at the company's annual party this Saturday night." Sophia blinked, her mouth slightly open. Mr. CEO, I'm not sure I heard clearly." Ethan sighed, looking a little impatient. "To put it bluntly, I need someone to accompany me to the party, as a girlfriend, and I choose you in return." He slid a piece of paper with a number written on it toward Sophia. "The company will pay you $10,000 for one evening." $10,000. The number sent a jolt through Sophia's body. It was almost enough to cover her mother's next surgery, but pretending to be the CEO's girlfriend, that was ridiculous and kind of insulting. "Sir, I don't think I'm suitable," Sophia stammered, her face red. "I'm not used to such things. Perhaps you should find someone else." "I don't have time to find someone else. Miss Walker," Ethan interrupted, his voice a little cold. "I need someone discreet. No trouble. And you're the right choice. This is just a one-night role. After that, everything will go back to normal. Think carefully. This is a good opportunity for you, financially." Sophia left the CEO's office in a state of confusion. Ethan Knight's offer kept spinning in her head, both as an insult and as a glimmer of hope. That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. The images of the mounting hospital bills, her mother's weary face, and the $10,000 haunted her. She sat alone in her small, cheaply rented apartment, staring out the window at the flickering streetlights. Leo Maxwell, her only coworker in the IT department, the only person who knew about her family's difficult situation, called to check on her. Sophia told Leo about Ethan's strange proposal. $10,000. Leo whistled. "That's CEO for you, but you have to be careful. Sophia, rich people have tricks up their sleeves." "I know." Sophia sighed. "But I really needed the money. Leo, my mom," her voice caught. "I understand," Leo said, sympathetically. "If you decide to do it, make sure everything is clear, a proper contract, and make sure your reputation is not affected." After a sleepless night of thinking, weighing her pride against the weight of reality, Sophia made her decision. The next morning, she went to see Ethan and laid out her conditions: a clear contract, confidentiality, and a role limited to the party. Ethan agreed without hesitation. He just needed a solution, and Sophia accepted. The CEO girlfriend project officially began. The next few days were like a fast-forward movie for Sophia. Ethan assigned his personal assistant, a middle-aged woman named Martha, and a professional stylist named Julian, the task of renovating Sophia. "Mr. Knight's requirements are clear," Julian told Sophia at their first meeting, his eyes scanning her from head to toe with a professional air. Elegant, sophisticated, and completely unexpected. "We don't have much time, but I believe we can do it." Sophia was taken to high-end fashion stores that she had previously only dared to look through the windows. At first, she felt awkward and out of place amid the expensive clothes and the overbearing attention of the staff. But Julian was a talented person. He did not blindly impose the latest trends, but listened to Sophia's opinions, observing her figure and demeanor to find the most suitable style. Gradually, Sophia also revealed her hidden aesthetic taste. She did not choose dresses that were too revealing or flashy, but rather aimed for classic designs that accentuated her natural beauty. She made intelligent comments about fabrics and cuts, which even Julian nodded in admiration. "You have an eye, Sophia," he said. "It's just hidden too well." Then came the skincare and hairstyling sessions, learning how to apply light but effective makeup, how to walk gracefully in high heels, how to smile and communicate confidently. Sophia seemed to transform day by day. Ethan, throughout this process, barely intervened. He was too busy with work and preparing for the important speech at the party. He only received reports from Martha that everything was going well. To him, Sophia was still just a work item that needed to be completed perfectly. They had a few short rehearsal sessions at Ethan's office after work. The main content was to agree on the basic information about their relationship, how they met, how long they had dated, a few fake common interests. Ethan kept his attitude professional, somewhat distant. He gave instructions, corrected Sophia like a director working with an actor. He didn't really look at her, didn't notice the changes that were taking place day by day in the woman sitting across from him. On Saturday night, in a luxurious suite at the Fairmont Hotel that Global Tech Innovations had reserved for the CEO and his special guest to get ready, Sophia looked at herself in the full-length mirror, almost unable to believe her eyes. Her light brown hair had been dyed a warm chocolate color, curled and pulled back in a delicate bun, revealing her delicate nape and the small diamond earrings Julian had chosen. Her face was expertly made up, highlighting her large, round hazel eyes, now hidden by her black-rimmed glasses, looking deeper and more soulful. Her nose was straight and high, her lips were painted with a seductive wine-red lipstick. But what stunned her most was the evening gown. Julian had chosen a stunning design for her by a little-known but extremely sophisticated designer. The dress was a deep sapphire blue, made of soft, shiny silk, hugging the perfect curves that were usually hidden behind baggy office clothes. The V-neck was just deep enough, the waist was delicately trimmed, and the skirt flared out slightly. She was no longer Sophia Walker, the dull IT worker. Before her eyes was a completely different woman, a beautiful, charming woman who exuded an unusual confidence. Her heart was pounding, nervous, anxious, and a little excited. Could she do it? Would she ruin everything for Ethan? There was a knock on the door. Ethan walked in. He was still on the phone with someone going over the final details of the party, a file in his hand. He glanced at Sophia, giving her a perfunctory nod. Ready. We're about to go down. He didn't really look at her. Or maybe he didn't want to look. The Fairmont Hotel ballroom was packed. Crystal chandeliers, soft jazz, sparkling champagne, and elegant evening gowns. The atmosphere was typical of a high-class party. Ethan Knight, dressed in a crisp black Armani tuxedo, took Sophia's elbow lightly. His hand was cold, perhaps from nervousness. "Remember what we said," he whispered, his voice still professional. "Just be yourself, smile, and say nothing if you don't have to." Sophia took a deep breath and nodded. Her heart felt like it was about to jump out of her chest. As they entered the main hall, the music seemed to fade a bit. The MC of the party, a famous host, boomed. "And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to the talented captain of Global Tech Innovations, CEO Ethan Knight. And let me introduce his beautiful partner." All the spotlights seemed to shine on them at the same time. Every eye in the room turned to the couple who had just entered. And that's when the real shock hit. A moment of silence fell over the auditorium, before a chorus of surprised murmurs began to rise like a swarm of bees. Sophia's colleagues, especially Brenda Van Doren and her group of queen bees, who had always been accustomed to the image of a dull, plain, and rustic Sophia Walker, were now completely dumbfounded. Their mouths were open, their eyes were wide open. The woman walking beside the CEO, in a gorgeous sapphire blue dress, with her charming flowing hair, beautiful face, and haughty demeanor, could not possibly be the Sophia Walker they knew. It was an unbelievable transformation, an unbelievable miracle. Is that Walker from the IT department?" someone whispered. "Impossible. Surely you have the wrong person," the other replied, but his eyes never left Sophia. Brenda Van Doren felt her face heat up. Jealousy and anger welled up. How could that country IT girl have transformed so much, and with Ethan? But the person who was most shocked was probably Ethan Knight. When the lights came on, when the whispers started, he finally turned to look at the woman standing next to him, and he froze, completely frozen. That woman was Sophia Walker, the quiet IT worker whose face he could barely remember, the woman he considered a temporary solution, a tool for his plan. No, the woman standing beside him now was a masterpiece. Her beauty did not lie only in the designer dress or the professional makeup. It was a beauty that radiated from her demeanor, from the hidden confidence that suddenly lit up, from the intelligent eyes that now sparkled with an unusual charm. The sapphire blue dress seemed to be made for her, highlighting every perfect line of her body that he had never noticed. The gentle smile on her lips was both shy and seductive. Ethan felt his throat dry. He almost forgot where he was, forgot about the important speech he was about to give. He just looked at Sophia, stunned, amazed, and a completely new feeling, a flutter he had never experienced before, began to creep into his heart, which had been hardened by his work. Mr. David Chen and Ms. Isabella Rossi, the important guests, could not hide their surprise and curiosity at the beauty and charisma of the global tech CEO's partner. Ms. Rossi, with the discerning eye of an artist, immediately recognized that Sophia's beauty was not just superficial. Sophia felt all eyes on her. She felt Ethan's surprise. For a moment, she wanted to run away. But then, she took a deep breath, remembering Julian's words. She held her head high, smiled more confidently, and walked with Ethan into the center of attention. The whole room was shocked, and the fateful party had only just begun. After the initial shock, Sophia gradually regained her composure, thanks in part to Ethan's still unfazed shock, which kept him mostly silent and left her to her own devices. And she did surprisingly well. When introduced to Isabella Rossi, a renowned art and design critic and major shareholder of the company, Sophia did not appear to be at a loss. Instead of just smiling and nodding, she joined in the conversation naturally. "Your dress is very pretty, Miss Walker, Mrs." Rossi observed, her eyes keen with appraisal. "A very elegant design. By an up-and-coming young designer, I suppose," Sophia smiled. "Yes, ma'am. I admire her designs. They are both classic and modern, especially the way she uses color to tell a story." She went on to make some insightful comments about color trends in contemporary design, citing some of her favorite works of art. Mrs. Rossi was delighted. "That's amazing. You have such good knowledge of this field. Ms. Walker, I didn't expect someone in the tech industry to have such exquisite taste." Ethan, standing nearby, could only listen in growing amazement. He had never known Sophia to have such interests and knowledge. Next, when meeting Mr. David Chen, an Asian shark investor, he asked a few challenging questions about global tech innovation's development strategy, clearly wanting to test both Ethan and his partner. "Miss Walker," Mr. Chen said, his voice warm but authoritative. "As someone close to Mr. Knight, can you share with us what it is about global tech that makes you most confident in its future?" A difficult question that can make anyone confused, but Sophia, after a second of thinking, answered fluently, "Mr. Chen, I may not be a technology expert, but from what I have observed, what makes me trust global tech the most is the people. It is a passionate, creative team that is always looking for new solutions. And most importantly, it is the visionary leadership of Mr. Knight, who not only wants to make a profit, but also wants to create products that are truly valuable to the community." Sophia's words were sincere and convincing, causing Mr. Chen to nod, his expression showing satisfaction. Ethan looked at her, a clear gratitude and admiration beginning to form in his eyes. Throughout the evening, Brenda Van Doren and her group of friends approached Sophia several times, intending to expose her or make insinuations to embarrass her. But Sophia, with her newfound confidence and poise, responded with polite smiles and intelligent answers, leaving them unable to do anything but leave in a huff. The once obscure IT girl was now an impregnable wall. Sophia is no longer an actor, she is being herself, a more radiant and confident version of herself. And she is shining. Amidst the loud music and small talk, Ethan gently pulled Sophia's hand to the balcony, where the air was quieter and the view of the San Francisco Bay glittering with nightlights was stunning. "Sophia," he said, his voice a little different, no longer cold and commanding. I really don't know what to say. You took me by surprise." Sophia smiled, a relieved smile. I was just trying to play my part. Mr. CEO. Don't call me CEO anymore, Ethan said, his voice softer. Call me Ethan. And this isn't an act anymore. Is it? At least not for me. He looked deep into her eyes. You're amazing. Sophia, smart, charming, and incredibly beautiful. I just didn't realize it. Just then, the melodious music of a waltz rang out from inside. A few couples had already begun dancing. Do you want to? Ethan hesitantly held out his hand. Sophia was a little surprised, but then she nodded, placing her hand in his. They walked back to the ballroom together, breaking into a dance. Under the flickering lights, they moved in sync. Ethan was not a bad dancer, and Sophia, though a little shy at first, quickly caught on. In that moment, there was no contract, no pretense, just two people, an unexpected connection, an undeniable attraction. When the music ended, their eyes met. A subtle silence, a tacit understanding. The icy wall between the powerful CEO and the invisible IT employee seemed to have completely melted. Ethan realized he didn't just need Sophia for this party, he started to want her by his side. For real. The party ended successfully. Investors were very satisfied, and the image of global tech innovations and its young CEO was raised to a new level, largely thanks to the impressive appearance of his life partner. The next morning, at the office, Ethan called Sophia in. He placed a check on the table for exactly $10,000. Thank you, Sophia, he said, his voice sincere, for everything. You have done better than I expected. Sophia took the check, feeling both relieved and a little sad. You're welcome, sir. Ethan, it's my job. No. Sophia, Ethan said, standing up, moving closer to her. It's not just a job, it's more than that for me. He looked straight into her eyes, his gaze warm. Our contract is over, but I don't want our story to end here. I was shocked when you walked in last night. But what shocked me even more was how stupid I was to have missed out on a gem in my own company all this time. I want to get to know you. Sophia Walker, the real you, not the CEO girlfriend for one night. Sophia's heart skipped a beat. Did she hear wrong? The cold CEO, who she thought would never pay attention to someone like her, was saying these words. Ethan, I know this seems sudden, Ethan continued, but I can't deny what I feel. Will you give me a chance? Sophia. After what she had been through, after the dramatic transformation and the recognition she received. Sophia also realized her feelings for Ethan. She saw a different side of him, a warmth, a respect that she had never seen before. She smiled, a bright smile. I think I want that too. Ethan. Sophia's life at Global Tech Innovations changed forever after that party. There were no more whispers, no more looks of disdain. People looked at her with wonder, admiration, and respect. Brenda Van Doren and her team didn't dare say a word. Shortly after, based on her real ability and the creative ideas she had long cherished and now dared to present, Sophia was promoted by Ethan to the position of Head of User Interface Development, a position that was completely worthy of her talent. This change was not because of her relationship with the CEO, but because her own ability was recognized. A few months later, Sophia has paid off her mother's debt. Her life is now much lighter and brighter. She is still the smart, hard-working Sophia Walker, but with more confidence, charm, and a happiness that is evident on her face. She is no longer the invisible girl. Ethan and Sophia officially dated. Their relationship was not noisy or ostentatious, but built on respect, understanding, and sincere love. Ethan learned how to balance work and personal life. Spend more time with Sophia, listen to her, share with her. He realized that true happiness lies not only in the company's growth numbers, but also in the simple moments with the person you love. One weekend evening, at a cozy little restaurant overlooking the bay where they often went, Ethan took Sophia's hand. Do you remember that night of the party, he asked. Smiling, the night the whole room was shocked when you walked in. Sophia laughed. How could I forget that was the night that changed everything? Yes, Ethan said, his eyes fond. It changed me. It showed me that sometimes the best things are right in front of us. We're just too blind to see them. He pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. Sophia Walker, you were my fake girlfriend. Now, will you be my real wife? Forever. Tears of happiness rolled down Sophia's cheeks. I do. Ethan. They shared a passionate kiss. The story started with a contract, a drama, and had a happy ending. Sophia, from a dull IT employee, shined brightly, not only conquering the heart of the powerful CEO, but also affirming her own value. Ethan, from a person who only knew work, found true love and a wonderful life partner. They proved that. Sometimes, with just a chance, a little courage to change, the most wonderful things can happen. And true beauty not only lies in appearance, but also in confidence, intelligence, and a kind heart. We'll always have a way to shine. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you love this story, don't forget to click like to support the channel. Share this story with family and friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any stories.